I'm still shaking when I think about it, even all these years later. It was just a few hours before the biggest day of my daughter Ilara's life, her national dance competition, and I walked into the guest room where my sister-in-law Chloe was supposed to be helping her get ready, but instead of seeing a supportive aunt, I saw a demon standing over the bed, holding a pair of shears. She had just finished it. She had just sliced a huge, jagged tear right up the side of Ilara's competition dress, the one we'd spent 9 months saving for, the custom-made piece of art that Ilara was supposed to shine in. And when she turned to look at me, her eyes were cold, completely devoid of remorse, and she gave me this slow, sickening smile, the kind that makes your blood run cold, and she just sneered, "Oops. A little accident. Guess she won't be stealing my spotlight this year, will she?" My beautiful, talented 16-year-old daughter, who had poured every ounce of her soul into this routine, was sobbing hysterically in the corner. That moment, that single horrific moment, was the breaking point of a decade of silent, simmering animosity. It was the moment I stopped being the quiet, conflict, avoidant sister-in-law and became a vengeful mother. I had to make a choice right then: crumble and let this woman destroy my child's dream, or fight back and do something so drastic, so public, that her precious, carefully crafted life would be the thing that was truly ripped to shreds. The question that has haunted me ever since, the one I need you all to answer, is ***, was I wrong to destroy her career and reputation to save my daughter's dream? Or was it the only justice I could get? ***, to understand the full weight of that betrayal, you have to know what kind of person Chloe is, and how deep her poison ran in my life and my husband's family. My husband, Liam, is the sweetest, most unassuming man you could ever meet, the complete opposite of his sister. Chloe, on the other hand, was the family's self-proclaimed ***golden child ***. From the day I met her, it was clear that the world, in her mind, revolved around her. She was beautiful, yes, in a very sharp, angular way, but her true power came from her career. She was a regional director for a major pharmaceutical company, a title she never let anyone forget. She was the one who bought her parents a new car, the one who hosted all the holidays, the one whose achievements were endlessly trotted out at every family gathering. Her entire identity was tied up in being the best, the most successful, the one everyone envied. My daughter Ilara was her first threat, though it wasn't apparent at first. When Ilara was born, she was a quiet, sweet baby, but as she grew, she developed this incredible, undeniable talent for dance. By the time she was about 10, she was winning local competitions, and by 13, she was on a serious track. The issue was that Chloe had a daughter, Bethany, who was 2 years older. Bethany was a nice kid, but she was entirely unremarkable, a sweet, average girl with no particular passions. Chloe, obsessed with having a prodigy in the family, tried to push Bethany into dance, then piano, then art, but nothing ever stuck. The more Ilara succeeded, the more awards she brought home, the tighter Chloe's smile became. It was subtle at first, a pointed remark about how expensive Ilara's hobby was, a suggestion that her style was a little too aggressive, or a subtle reminder that her real talent was just luck. The true escalation began about a year before the big competition. Ilara was cast as the lead in a prestigious regional showcase, and all the local news outlets picked up her story. They called her a rising star. The day the article came out, Chloe called me not to congratulate, but to casually inform me that she'd just had her office completely redecorated. It was always a redirection, a way to pull the spotlight back to herself. Liam, bless his heart, never saw it. He always dismissed it as just Chloe being Chloe, or her trying to lighten the mood. But I saw the malice, the way her eyes tracked Ilara, the quiet, burning jealousy of a woman who couldn't stand the idea that someone else, especially a child, could effortlessly possess a gift that drew genuine praise she couldn't buy or earn with a corporate title. The national competition was the culmination of everything. It was held 500 miles away, requiring 2 days of travel and a huge financial investment. Elara's routine was a contemporary piece, incredibly moving and technically challenging. The dress was the final piece of the puzzle. It was a flowy lavender silk and lace number, custom, dyed in hand, stitched with Swarovski crystals. It wasn't just a costume, it was part of the artistry. It cost us almost $3,000, which we had saved for over nearly a year by cutting corners everywhere else. We even had to borrow a small amount from Liam's parents, who were thrilled to support Elara. They were, in fact, the only ones in the family who treated her success with genuine pride, which, of course, only fueled Chloe's resentment because she saw it as money that should have been spent on her or Bethany. The night before the competition, we arrived at the hotel. Chloe and Bethany were there, too, ostensibly to support Elara, but really because they wanted to be part of the big event and take pictures for social media. Chloe, in a typical power play, had booked a lavish suite for herself and Bethany, while Liam, Elara, and I were in a standard double room. Early the next morning, the day of the competition, Liam had to run out to pick up a last-minute prop that Elara's studio director had forgotten to pack. Since Elara needed help lacing up her costume, it was a complicated bodice. I foolishly asked Chloe to come over and help. It would be a nice bonding moment, I remember thinking, trying to bridge the gap between them. Elara was sitting quietly, sipping tea, trying to calm her nerves, while I stepped out to go to the lobby coffee shop to get her a specific pastry she loved as a good luck treat. I was gone for 20 minutes, maybe 25. I walked back in holding the little box of pastries, and the air in the room was electric, sickeningly so. The first thing I saw was Elara, huddled in the corner by the window, her face buried in her knees, making these awful, strangled sounds that weren't quite cries, but a pure expression of agony. The dress, our beautiful lavender dress, was on the bed, and Chloe was standing over it with those gleaming silver shears. The tear was enormous, a ragged gash from the hemline almost to the waist, completely unsalvageable. The sheer malicious joy on Chloe's face when she sneered, "Guess she won't be stealing my spotlight this year, will she?" is something I will take to my grave. The immediate shock turned to a pure, animalistic rage. I dropped the pastry box, and it hit the floor with a sickening, silent splat of cream and glass. I didn't yell, I didn't even cry. I just walked over to her, snatched the shears out of her hand, and threw them across the room, where they embedded point first into the drywall. "What have you done?" I whispered, my voice a hollow rattle, looking from the ruined dress to my inconsolable child. Chloe, being the master manipulator she was, instantly flipped the script. "It was an accident. I was just admiring the fabric and the scissors slipped. Honestly, you're overreacting. It's just a dress. She can still dance. No one will notice, or we can pin it." The audacity of her suggestion that we could pin a huge tear on a custom couture dress for a national competition was staggering. She knew exactly what she had done, and she was trying to gaslight me into believing it was a minor, fixable mistake. I didn't even have to look at the way Elara was shaking to know that Chloe's action wasn't just about the fabric. It was about destroying Elara's confidence, making her feel small, and proving that the golden child's family was the only one allowed to shine. I knelt next to Elara, pulling her close, rocking her. She wasn't just sad, she was broken. "I can't dance, Mom. I can't, not now. It's ruined. I worked so hard." She was right. That dress was integral to the routine. It was the entire presentation. Without it, the whole routine would fall flat. All the sacrifices, all the endless hours of practice, all the hopes were shattered in one spiteful slice. Liam returned then, seeing the scattered pastries, the embedded shears, his daughter's devastation, and the defensive, haughty sneer on his sister's face. When he saw the dress, the blood drained from his face, For the first time, he couldn't dismiss it. He saw the pure, unadulterated evil of his sister's actions. He finally saw the pattern of cruelty that I had been enduring for years. He tried to speak, to reason with her, but she just doubled down, becoming aggressive and defensive. "Oh, now you're going to gang up on me. It was a mistake. Maybe you should have watched your own daughter's things better." That was it. That final victim, blaming shot, and the way she was now playing the wounded party, was what solidified my plan. We had about 4 hours until Ilara's stage time. 4 hours to fix an unfixable disaster. My mind raced. We couldn't find a replacement custom dress, not in this city, not in this timeline. We couldn't even find a suitable off-the-rack costume. The entire trip, the entire year of work, was circling the drain, all because of Chloe's sickening jealousy. I looked at the dress, then at my daughter's face, a mask of pure childlike grief. Then I looked at Chloe, calmly putting on her coat, ready to go to the venue to put on her show of support and enjoy the chaos she had created. And in that moment, I knew I couldn't just get angry. I couldn't just kick her out of the room. I had to hit her where it hurt the most. Her reputation, her professional life, the very source of her power and arrogance. She had ruined my daughter's biggest day. I was going to ruin her biggest asset. ***, so that's the situation I was in. My daughter's dream, 9 months of work and thousands of dollars, destroyed by one vicious, deliberate act of sabotage, carried out by a woman who thought she was untouchable, and I had to make a choice. Before I tell you what happened next, what I did in those remaining 4 hours to pull off the ultimate act of revenge and save my daughter's performance, I want you to pause and comment below what you would have done in my shoes. Would you have just cut your losses, or would you have gone for the jugular no matter the cost? Let me know, and then keep watching to hear the climax. ***, I stood up, the heat of my anger radiating off me. Liam was still trying to talk sense into Chloe, his voice strained and quiet. I walked over to the dresser, found my cell phone, and called the hotel concierge. My voice was calm, almost terrifyingly so. I told them I needed a tailor immediately, someone who specialized in delicate fabric repair, and I told them I would pay anything. They said they could have someone in an hour, but warned that fixing a tear like this was nearly impossible. While I waited, I didn't say another word to Chloe. I just stared at her, and my silence was more powerful than any scream. She was actually starting to get unnerved, looking at her watch and muttering about needing to leave to get a good seat. The tailor arrived, a lovely ancient woman named Mrs. Petrov, who looked at the dress and shook her head sadly. "I can't fix this," she said, her voice heavy with regret. "The silk is shredded and the lace is too delicate to conceal a mend. The tear is too big." But then I showed her the dress for the final, show-stopping piece. It was a simple, beautiful, vibrant crimson dress, bought a few months earlier for a completely different routine. It was the same size, but completely wrong for the contemporary piece Ilara was doing. I told Mrs. Petrov, "I need you to take this red dress and incorporate the remaining pieces of the lavender dress onto it. I need you to make the tear on the lavender dress look intentional, like an avant-garde artistic choice, and then use the matching lavender silk as a flowing sash or drape on the red dress." Mrs. Petrov looked dubious, but she saw the desperation in my eyes and the horror on Ilara's face. "It will be messy," she warned. "It will be dramatic. It will change the entire look, and it will take a miracle to do it in 3 hours." I told her, "Make it happen. It's not about perfection anymore, it's about a statement." While Mrs. Petrov began her frantic, miraculous work, I turned to Chloe. She was lounging on the bed, scrolling through her phone, utterly bored by the chaos she had wrought. "You're a sociopath, Chloe," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. "You ruined a child's dream because you couldn't stand her shine, and now you're going to pay for it." Her laughter was sharp and dismissive. "Oh, please, you're going to tell my parents. They won't believe you, They'll just think you're jealous. No, I replied, walking over to my laptop and opening a document. I'm going to tell your company. Chloe's face finally lost its composure. She straightened up, a look of genuine fear flashing in her eyes. Don't be ridiculous. This has nothing to do with work. It has everything to do with work, I said, pulling up the corporate directory. I know for a fact that your pharmaceutical company, with its huge ethics and integrity campaign, has a zero-tolerance policy for any employee who engages in deliberate, malicious acts of destruction or emotional cruelty, especially when traveling under company-related expense accounts. And since you insisted on booking this trip as a business-related networking and wellness expenditure because you were going to network with other parents of high-achieving children, I think your expense report is about to get a very close look. That $3,000 custom dress, the one you deliberately and maliciously destroyed, that's *** felony destruction of property ** with witnesses, and you won't be pinning this one, Chloe. I didn't stop there. I worked quickly, typing a formal, detailed letter to the VP of HR, the Ethics Compliance Officer, and her direct supervisor, attaching a photo I had quickly taken of the ruined dress and a short, emotionally devastating video of Ilara's crying. I used the corporate language I had learned from my own, much smaller corporate job, framing it as a major lapse in judgment and character. I focused on her lack of remorse, her attempt to cover up the crime, and her abusive behavior toward a minor. The kicker: I found an old, completely innocuous photo of Ilara in the lavender dress, and placed it next to the destroyed one in the email, proving the intent was to ruin a beautiful thing. Chloe was screaming now, a frantic, high-pitched screech. You can't, you psycho. I'll lose my job. I'll lose everything. You're ruining my life over a **dress**. You ruined my daughter's dream over a ***, sneer ***. I shot back, my voice unwavering. And you enjoyed it? You wanted to take away her moment? Now I'm taking away yours? The dress is replaceable, even if it hurts. Your precious career is not. Liam, watching the whole thing, didn't say a word. He looked like he was seeing his sister for the very first time. He simply picked up his things and left the room, his silence a profound statement of support. With 30 minutes to spare, Mrs. Petrov finished. She had somehow managed a miracle. The *** crimson ** dress now had a diagonal swath of the destroyed lavender fabric flowing from the waist, deliberately frayed and torn, making the tear look like an artistic choice, a symbol of brokenness and passion. It was dramatic, dark, and utterly magnificent, the perfect visual metaphor for the betrayal Ilara had just endured. I rushed Ilara, now strangely calm and focused, to the venue. We barely had time to do her hair and makeup. Backstage, the other dancers were in their pastel, flowing costumes. Ilara, in her fierce, fiery crimson dress with the jagged, flowing lavender sash, looked like a phoenix rising from the ashes. It wasn't the routine we had planned, but it was the performance we needed. When she walked onto the stage, the audience gasped. The music started, and Ilara, channeling the raw pain and anger of the morning, danced a new, more powerful, more aggressive routine. She didn't dance about beauty. She danced about ***, betrayal ***, and ***, resilience ***. When she hit the climax of the piece, she tore the lavender sash away, a symbolic casting off of the emotional weight, and finished the final sequence with a ferocity I'd never seen. She got a standing ovation. Meanwhile, Chloe had arrived at the venue and was trying to look supportive, but her phone was vibrating incessantly. I watched her check it, and I saw the color drain from her face. It was the email I sent. The first of the official, terrifying emails from her company's HR. She spent the entire competition outside the auditorium, talking in hushed, panicked whispers, trying to undo the damage, but it was too late. I had sent the email from an anonymous burner account, a precaution I had learned from a true crime documentary, so she couldn't trace it back to me easily, but the evidence spoke for itself. Ilara won ***, first place ***. The judges commented on the unprecedented dramatic tension and the visceral emotion of her performance. As she was accepting her trophy, radiant in the crimson dress, Chloe walked in looking like a ghost. She tried to approach Ilara, but Liam stepped in front of her. "It's over, Chloe," he said simply. "You tried to destroy her, you failed, now leave." The aftermath was exactly as I had planned. The investigation at Chloe's company was swift and brutal. The evidence, the cost of the dress, the travel expense reporting, the photo of the deliberate damage, and the abusive behavior allegations was irrefutable, and with her history of arrogance, they needed no further convincing. Within a week, she was formally terminated for ***, breach of corporate ethics and conduct. Her reputation in her industry was in tatters, and her six-figure salary, her house payments, and her entire sense of self evaporated. Her husband left her because he couldn't deal with the financial collapse and the public shame. The family was split. Her parents, in a rare moment of clarity, were horrified by what she'd done to Ilara, but were equally devastated by her professional ruin. They tried to be mad at me, but I simply pointed to Ilara's trophy and the fact that I'd given my sister, in law *4 hours to confess and apologize before I sent the email. She chose to sneer. My daughter's dream was saved, not by fixing the old dress, but by creating something new and powerful from the wreckage, and my act of revenge, while calculated and cold, had a satisfyingly poetic symmetry. Chloe's spotlight, the one she cherished so much, was extinguished forever, and the light shone brighter than ever on the true star, Ilara. I saved my daughter's biggest day by sacrificing my sister-in-law's entire life. It was a vicious act, but as a mother, I wouldn't change a single thing. ***, don't ever let someone take your light, and if they try, hit back with everything you've got. ***, like this video if you were on my side. Subscribe for more stories like this of family betrayal and ultimate justice, and share your final thoughts on this whole mess in the comments section. Did she get what she deserved, or did I go too far? Let me know. I'll see you all in the next story.